Fix a lot of stuff on this car. I'm about to take the rear gears out of this thing and steal them for the Challenger. This has got a 391 Sure Grip from Dr. Diff and stout. It is a stout rear gear, let me tell you. Got all the bells and whistles with this one. And I'm going to put a 391 locker back in it. Long time no see of the Charger. And what I had done, I had bought a very nice set of gears for this car from Dr. Diff, and I ran them in the car, figured out there's some more things on this car I wanted to fix, thus meaning that I didn't drive this car as much as I had originally intended. So what I did is after I put those gears in the car, I never drove it. So we've taken them back out. And these are Dr. Diff 391. It's a limited slip, and it's pretty stout. But what I've done is I actually have a set of locked 391s. They have a spool in them. I put them back in the car as a brand new gear set. So that's going back in the Charger, while this limited slip unit is going in the Challenger. Just because I plan to drive the Challenger more. And we'll take a look at the old gear set that came out of the Challenger. Now this is the Open 276 that was originally in my Charger, not the original gear set to the car, but that came with the car. And I had put them in the Challenger just to hold the axles in place. I was like, I gotta get it done for Mo Party, and this is the closest one I had to me. So the gears on this thing, it's kind of hard to see, but I shredded them. See if you can notice that. I mean, it looks terrible in there. I'm really assuming that was what our noise is. So I guess we'll just have to put these up. I mean, it's not like a loss or anything. These are just 276 open gear set. I mean, I could re-gear these and have a Sure Grip unit put in them. It's a 489 casting, so we'll definitely hang on to it, maybe re-gear it one day. But the Challenger, all it likes now is I'm going to put the gasket seals on the end of the housing, and once I do that, we'll slide the new 391 in, and we'll be done. Simple as that. I'll tell you right now, what's not that fun is putting the center section up in the car, but it is possible. Lay on the ground here, roll it up on my stomach here, and proceed to do a bench press. I don't work out, but this is pretty much all the exercise I get, and it's plenty, let me tell you. There we go, easy enough. You'll see here this sucker's got a beefy pinion on it. This is a 1350. And what we have here is the Glovebox Latch, and this is the lock that goes with it. And I've cleaned up this one, still working on it just a little bit. We're gonna spray some like any kind of like PB blaster in there, some kind of oil, just to keep it lubricated and all that stuff. This is actually keyless. The original one had a key in it,
but I do not have that key, because if you remember way back in like part 1, I mentioned that I did not have the keys for this car, so I had to get all new door locks. I had to get a new ignition lock. This is supposed to match the trunk key if I remember right. I had to get a new trunk key as well. So this is actually a keyless lock that I'm hoping will work, that is from a 73 Dart Sport. If you remember the banana Dart, this is what came out of it. So yes, I paid $150 for it, and that car just saved me $60. So it's a gift that keeps on giving. I want to clean it up real quick and make it hopefully look a little bit better. Done a little spot right here with the wire wheel. Probably not supposed to use it on this type of metal, but it's better than nothing. So we'll just be real careful, real gentle with it, and hopefully it comes back to have a little bit of a shine to it. Spray a little bit of this Blaster Multimax here right down in this lock, just to make sure that nothing ever will freeze up on us. Make sure all that is properly working, because if this were to ever give up and decide, hey, I don't want to open anymore, we'd be in a world of hurt, just because if we can't get in our glove box, got a problem. If we have a registration in there or something like that, man, we'd be having a hard time. I'm going to spray a little bit down in here too on the lock itself, just in case I ever have to take this thing off, because that was giving me a fight whenever I tried to release it from the original glove box lid. But now that that's all taken care of, we should be able to put these two back together. Okay, we can now install our latch mechanism from the back side. Let's excuse how nasty this lid is. It's been sitting in storage for probably a year now, maybe a little less. I just now got it back out. So we'll tighten those up. Now we'll hold the latch from the bottom. Drop this into place. What we have here are two brand new pieces here. These are the Glovebox liner. These came from Classic Industries. My old one was destroyed basically. Here's the top side here, and then it'll just slip in through the top there, and then this is the bottom. So I think I'm going to try the bottom first, because they screw here together and they'll end up looking something like this. That's the Glovebox liner. Sorry it's a little dark, but you get the idea. So let's try and just see how this stuff lines up real quick. It comes with new screws too, so that's kind of nice. Screw both pieces together. Now hopefully, if I do this correctly, we should be able to just not drop everything. And we slide them under the lip that's built into the dash itself. They go under. And then the top side goes over. We'll put the bottom screws in, because I know they're lined up. I can see them. So you guys know that I'm a huge fan of Classic Industries, and that's because they provide stuff like this. These are new sun visors for the Challenger, and basically these do look good. These are still usable. The problem is I've had visors that look like this. One, you can see these chrome clips here. They're starting to rust. And two is that they may look good right now, but when you start using these, they're so brittle that eventually these threads are going to give way. This one's already starting to want to peel up right there. They do look good now. We could clean them up and reuse them. But the good news is that Classic Industries provides brand new ones, so we don't have to worry about that. It's got all brand new stitching. The vinyl looks great. The chrome clips here look amazing. The only thing we have to transfer over is clean up these hinges here and put them in our new visors. So I'd already gone and found the holes before I put the visors in, just to make it a little easier. I put a little spot in the headliner so I could find it. Then I cleaned up these the arms for the visor. Did that real quick on the side. And now hopefully all this lines up. Never thought we'd see the day when we were putting carpet in the car. So that's a pretty exciting moment right here. This is OER, comes from Classic Industries. They supplied all this here. As with basically all the interior parts that you see in the car that are new, came from Classic Industries. And this is a black carpet, just like the original. Oh yeah. So what I'll do is lay this out so that way the sun, I mean it's not that warm out here, but I'll lay it out flat so that the carpet kind of takes shape and relaxes some. There we go. That's the front, and that's the rear section of the carpet. You can see that it is molded. There's the floor hump right there. But like I said, we'll let it sit out here in the sun, get some heat into it. That way it'll be easier to form, and shouldn't be too bad. Well, as much as I hate to cover up our Be Quiet sound deadening, here comes the new carpet. Gotta add. This stuff looks awesome. Way too far back. Hold on, let me get. Ow. Dang, we're talking. Way up in here. There we go. I have to cut a relief for the shifter, obviously, and then where the center console mounts, but we'll get it kind of laying in the form that it needs to, and then at that point we can start cutting. Because obviously you can see we got to trim a lot of excess on the sides. They do that just so you can make sure, because every car is going to be different. So you form fit it to where you need it to be, get it set up right, trim it, cut your holes for like your dimmer switch, the shifter, seat belt holes, seat holes, and there you go. Got this new package tray cover here that will go where over the speakers here and in below the door panels in the back. And I'm going to go this way first. And that's going to really tie together everything that's going on back here. There we go. Look at that. That looks awesome. This is the original wiper blade for the Challenger. Now the problem is that this does not use like your traditional clip-in wiper blade. You can see here it's got this little pin, and you press this and the entire assembly will come off. But these are designed to where you can actually have a refill. So these will slide out, these little slots here, and then whenever you take that out, you're supposed to be able to replace it with this wiper blade. Now the problem is finding a 16-inch wiper blade is just about impossible unless you special order them. So I bought an 18-inch wiper blade, and I'm going to cut it short. See right there? I'm going to cut that short. I've already taken the one off this one over here, so let's just demonstrate. We'll do a test run. So this is the driver's side. Now I'll run it through all the way, the entire length of the wiper. It's got these little slots here that slide through the wiper, these little pedestals that the wiper sits on. It'll flex against the windshield. So we'll run it through all 4 of them. And then when we get to the end here, we'll run it past that. And then on the back side, we've actually got a lock here. Might be a little hard to see, but there is a piece of metal that is meant to lock in place. So we will push that past, and now the wiper won't come out. What we want to do here is we've got a little bit too much hanging off the end here, because if we look at the old wiper blade, we don't want them hitting while they're wiping. We don't want them running into each other. So it's going to hang out just a little bit extra. What I'm going to do is I'll just cut them to the same exact length, and hopefully it works. No promises. Here are the old vinyl seats out of the back of the Challenger. These are all original, and surprisingly they still look very nice. They're just dirty, and over time vinyl likes to set up and it'll get brittle, and that's where seats start to rip. When they get brittle, they won't flex when you sit on them, so all the stitching will decide, hey, I'm not going to cooperate anymore. So we've got a couple different products that we're going to try out just to see if we can bring back some life into these back seats, because they're still pretty nice and I'd like to reuse them. First off, we're going to start off with a wash mitt, just an old wash mitt I had, a little bit of dish soap and some warm water on it. Not a whole lot, because we don't want to get the foam wet. We just want to get the top of the vinyl clean. So look at what the difference just a little cleaning can do. Now what we'll do is take some of this Blue Magic leather and vinyl cleaner. Now this stuff is supposed to get all of maybe the harder stains to get away. So we'll just spray this on. Let it soak for just a second. Then we'll take our rag. Just try to get all that stuff worked in there. Now at this point the seat does look a heck of a lot better, but we're not done yet. It is clean, but the problem is that whenever you clean something like that, you take all of the natural oils that are built into the vinyl itself. So what we've got here is some leather cream conditioner. Now this is also from Blue Magic. It'll basically preserve the leather, or in this case vinyl. It works on both. And it actually has a sunblock built into it, so whenever you're leaving these out, if it's parked outside in the sun, it's not going to dry it out, but it'll basically just make sure that it'll stay preserved for as long as you need it to. You basically use this stuff like you're buffing a car. You spray it on, you rub it in, and then you wipe it off. Brought the two seat halves out in the sun, and you can really tell the difference. The bottom seat looked just like this top did when I first started. You can see it's grayed out, it's brown in some places, it's dirty, it's nasty, but this one looks pretty much brand new. All that's left is to do the top side, and we're done. And the seats are complete. I'm going to tell you, they look a heck of a lot better than what they looked like when they came out. Still got to do a little bit on the top here. You can see that I missed a little bit, but overall seats are ready to go in. These kick panels are original. We're going to use this vinyl and fabric paint here from Duplicolor just to bring back, this is flat black here. And these do look good, and they could clean up a little bit better, I guess, if you wanted to use some kind of like cleaner and maybe something to restore it with, but I would rather just hit it with a little bit of this black because it's really going to make it pop. Back seat is in, center console's in. Now we're about to put our new wood grain bezel. See how this thing looks. Got the boot already on the shifter. Here we are. I've already managed to get the carpet dirty with the miles I put on it. I've actually already put just slightly over 100 miles on this thing, just driving it. And you'll notice that the carpet's done, the back seat is in, all the rear door panels are in. The center console's in, the wood grain is in, shifter and shifter boot are back in, and I put the seats back in. These are the original seats. Now these are not going to be permanent. I just bought these seat covers from the O'Reillys just because I didn't want to have to sit on some nasty seats and it would look garbage when I was in here. So I just bought some seat covers until my new seats come in. They're on their way, so we'll get that sorted out. Back seat looks amazing. Oh, that looks awesome. Got that rear package tray in, got all our trim sorted out, everything looking good. The carpet settled down and looks nice. We got our kick panels in, you can see there. Everything's looking good. We still got to get pedal covers and need to clean up that carpet again. The lower dash trim needs to go back in. Our radio delete needs to go in. Our glove box lid, ashtray cover. I was missing some pieces for that, so I didn't put it in, and this needs to be painted. The steering wheel alignment, obviously, we talked about that last video where they messed up my alignment, but I'll fix that in the next video and get the horn button on. That's really it. I mean, the interior is pretty much done. You can see we've got our sun visors in and our rear view mirror. All that looks good. And I'm telling you what, just putting this carpet in and that back seat really made this car so much quieter. And that and putting the shifter boot in there made it so much quieter to drive this car. Because before, this exhaust was ridiculously loud. It was awful. But I'll tell you what, it sounds a heck of a lot better on the inside. You can actually hear the radio, enjoy the radio, and just drive it. So I'll be honest with you guys, after this video, the next video will probably be the last video we have on the Challenger for a while. Not saying that we won't do some update videos on it, but as far as the build series, this may be the second to last video we do. A lot of this stuff that you see that's left to be done will be finished up in that video. Oh hey, check this out too. Our wiper situation all worked out right. Go back to park. Ta-da! Looks pretty neat. Yes, you heard that right. This is probably the second to last Challenger series build episode. I'm ready to move on with something new, and the Challenger has been a long time staple for the channel. That doesn't mean it's going to go away, but that does mean that we've got a lot of other things to work on. As you guys know, there are a lot of vehicles here that I would like to dedicate my time to. And now that the Challenger is at least a functioning vehicle, it has all the capabilities, it's tagged, it's insured, it's got wipers, brake lights, turn signals, headlights, all the works. It's got everything that it needs to be a street legal vehicle. So now that that is really taken care of, besides like the little details, you know, we've got obviously the seats and just some interior pieces to finish up, it's pretty much a drivable car. I've already put a little over 100 miles out. I'm looking at it right now. It's 101.5 miles on it right now. So it's actually a blast to drive. It's a lot of fun to drive. I've really enjoyed having this thing to where I can finally use it as a vehicle. And that's probably the best part. That's where I was really wanting to see, when I get to the point where, hey, this car is actually functioning now. got no words. That was the first time I've done that in this car. I can't even I can't stop smiling. That was awesome. First to second gear, I mean, I just rolled into it. I didn't dump the clutch. Holy, I don't even know what to say right now. Dang. Just for a stock 5.7 Hemi, nothing done to it internally. The only thing I did inside that engine was change to non-MDS lifters, the cylinder deactivation. That's the only thing I did to it. It absolutely rips. That is incredible. Man, and the 4-speed with that makes it just so much more fun. I mean, that you cannot go wrong with ripping gears in a manual car. Dang. Future plans for the next video. We're looking at, hopefully, like I said, we'll get the seats in if they get here in time. I've got brand new seat belts for it. I've got the ashtray ready to go in the glove box lid, and a few other things. Oh, the heat works. The heat in this car is absolutely amazing. I love that. That's one of the best parts about this car, is how amazing the heat is, and especially with the carpet, it basically insulates everything, so it holds all that heat and retains it. So you can tell the car's a lot quieter. I'm not having to yell like I was in the last video. The last video was absolutely obnoxious trying to film that. But this car, I tell you what, it's something else. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave a comment. Order your t-shirts and your stickers while you're at it. And Challenger back inside looking good as ever. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.